Turn to our back-to-school coverage now. My colleague Marcelle Gordon is at Noordgesig Primary. That's in Soweto. Marcy, good morning to you once again. Earlier, you showed us jungle gyms that were in beautiful working condition. The school itself, we saw pictures of it tweeted by the Gauteng Education MEC. It's beautiful. What's the sentiment on the ground?
Absolute excitement here, Xoli. I don't know if you can hear in the background. The bands have arrived here at the Noordgesig Primary School. So that gives you a sense of the fanfare and the excitement in this community who have something completely new to call their own. And that is Noordgesig Primary that has been completely rebuilt because it was found that the building materials used in building the original school, which was opened in the 1950s, contained asbestos. And so we go back to 2013. Where the National Minister of Education signed the regulations relating to minimum uniform norms and standards for public schools infrastructure, which meant that all those schools found to contain elements of asbestos, mud, wood and metal would have to be rebuilt in sections or completely rebuilt in the case of Noordgesig Primary School. And to talk to me some more about that, I've got none other than the MEC for Education in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. When
I spoke to you earlier, you looked around the school and you just breathed out a big sigh of relief and you said, this is the kind of school project that when you are able to get a good night's rest, this makes you sleep better at night.
I can sleep peacefully. These are kind of schools and the kind of investment that you need to build. You know, gone are the days where just to build 2 blocks and say it's a school. It needs to give support to teachers. It needs to give support to learners. It also needs to give support to community members. So we've incorporated everything. There is a community hall. We've got laboratories. We've got smart classroom. We've got Wi-Fi. So we've moved with times so that this particular school can be a school that people can be proud of. Actually, I'm told people get lost here thinking it's a mall looking for a certain retail shop, only to find that it's a principal's office. But we want to make those kind of investments so that people must not leave the townships to say, I'm going in town because they've got beautiful schools. We must build beautiful schools where our people are, exactly at their doorsteps. And this is one investment that makes me to be so proud.
This was a tough journey up until here. The building of the school took 3 years, but there was a lot of criticism of your department because in as much as the National Minister signed those regulations in 2013, the initial deadline was set for 2016 for especially the schools that were found to be completely made of asbestos needed to be replaced. You couldn't meet those deadlines. Talk to us about the process and the various lists that have been doing the rounds of these schools.
The problem is that when that agreement was signed, an audit of these buildings was not taken. And when that agreement was signed, the financial aspect of it was not incorporated. When that agreement was signed, local government was not brought in to check whether they've got the capacity to connect water, electricity, sewer. So we said, give us an extra 4 years. We know we'll eradicate them. We're 35 schools that were built out of asbestos. We've already removed almost 6. We are left with 29. If you remove this one, we are left with 28. We've got one in Rustenburg we're opening in the next 2 months or so. We'll also be left with 27. So we know by 2024, this project will be completely finalized. But remember, when you finalize schools that are built of asbestos, there are new communities. People are putting new informal settlement. They also need a new school. So you have to balance the needs and the demands, and which is something that norms and standard agreement didn't incorporate. The assumption was every money that you have must go towards this direction. But there are people that need new schools. There are people that they're moving new development. So if you balance all those particular needs, we'll be in a position to be where we are. But by 2024, we are convinced we are not going to have this kind of schools built of asbestos, but also we must eradicate what we call mobile schools, because we don't have school. We don't want those kind of schools. We want this kind of beautiful schools that we've just built here.
This is a big day for your department. Last week was a big day with the announcement of the matric results. But you and your team have had a very busy time of it. It seems that every year when we speak to you at this time of year, this new online system that you very excitedly announced a few years ago, you said at the time it will take time for things to settle down, for troubleshooting to take place. But we're hearing again this year, there are issues. What are the problems this time around?
The good thing about the online system now, we've matured, because it's no longer about connectivity. It's no longer about the technical aspect of it. It's about about the actual placement. To say, I want school X, but the system gave me school Y. I don't want school Y, I just want school X. Forgetting that this year we've opened the floodgates. Previously, you had to apply to a school that is within 5 kilometer radius, which simply means that even if you wanted a school in Sentin when you were in Noordgesig, you couldn't apply for that school. We're confined to what I used to say is homeland state, which simply means that if you're in Soweto, you must get a school in Soweto. You're in Tembisa, you must get a school in Soweto. So for the first time this year, we've opened the floodgates. Parents can choose whatever school that they want. And out of that decision, you find that some of our schools are flooded. And that's the problem. It's not a problem of the system. It's the problem of flooding that we have. That's the first part. But also, we persuaded schools to say, put an extra class or an extra desk so that we can accommodate the number. Some schools agreed, some schools didn't agree. And there's confusion there, where some of the schools gave parents letters of admission. Now we need to rescind those kind of letters. But the team is hard at work. I really believe that the team that is dealing with these matters will solve them before the end of this month. And I once more want to apologize to parents. I will never get tired to apologize, because the inconvenience, the frustration and the pain is too much to bear. And we will sort them. I can assure them by the end of next week, this matter will be sorted out completely.
Thank you so much. Panyaza Lesufi, the MEC for Education in Gauteng, somebody well known to so many parents here in Gauteng, especially at this time of year. Grade 1s and grade 8s, very much the focus of the Education Department, just trying to make sure that all of those very important pupils have a placement. And you heard it there from the MEC. He says in the next 2 weeks, everything will be sorted. They would have seen to all of the appeals, and will, of course, keep him to his word and find out just how that is going. Back to you in the studio.
Marcelle.